The Gender and Health Ministry of Education Students Association of the University of the Gambia has hosts an art exhibition today at UTJ's Farba campus. This stunning exhibition is centered on art and it creates a space for EDUSANs to create and celebrate their masterpiece. It was not only celebration of art and artistic skills, but also a forum for innovation in the areas of arts. Stay connected for more details. I am Binta Jallo reporting for Fine TV Gambia.
Good morning, the Dean School of Education, Dr. Akambi, President SU Honorable Ngalan, and Rep from SU Foundation, Mr. Sane. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Mustafa Huma, Deputy IPRO of the Education Students Association, and it is indeed an honor for me to stand here to moderate this occasion. Welcome all of you to the premier art exhibition of the University of the Gambia Students Association here at EDUSA. Before we start, I would want us to pray in our different ways. From there, I would introduce the members of the high table briefly. May Allah accept all our prayers. Ladies and gentlemen, before us here are wonderful delegates, some from the School of Education, one from SU, and another from the SU Foundation. I would want to introduce them individually. First, we have the Dean, School of Education, Dr. Usain Usar. Dean, please. Dean, you are highly welcome to the art exhibition, and we thank you for honoring our invitation. Next is Dr. Akambi, a veteran teacher here or lecturer here at the School of Education. Doctor, you're welcome, please. Thank you. Next to our Dean is the President, on His Excellency Mohamed Galan, President of the Student Union, University of the Gambia. Thank you, President, for honoring our invitation. And next to him is a representative from the ST Foundation. Mr. Lamin Sane, you are welcome, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was a brief introduction. Now we want to have a welcome remark. This would be led or done by the Gender and Health Minister here at the School of Education. Honorable, please.
Good morning, honorable guests, Dr. Akambi, Dr. Usain Usar, the President of University of the Gambia Student Union, Mr. Ngalan, and a representative from ST Foundation, and to my fellow edusans, I'm saying good morning to you all. We live in a world today where waste is increasingly every day. Plastic bottles, old clothes, broken electronics, items that could be used or recycled, too often end up in landfills, polluting our soil, air, and water. Recycling is not just about keeping our environment clean, it is about responsibility. When we recycle, we reduce the demand for new raw materials, save energy, and protect our planet for future generations. Waste management is in fact life management, because how we handle waste today will determine the quality of life tomorrow. But here is the change, and here is the challenge. Recycling alone will not solve the problem unless we rethink our education. Imagine if from a young age, every child was encouraged not only to recycle, but also to transform waste into something valuable. This is where craft skills come in. When students learn to make art, furniture, or useful household items out of recycled materials, they are not only protecting the environment, but also unlocking creativity, innovation, and even entrepreneurship. Craft-based education teaches problem solving, patience, and resourcefulness. It turns waste into opportunity. It shows us that what others call trash can become treasure in the right hands. By including craft skills, In our schools, we are equipping students with practical abilities that can go beyond textbooks, skills they can use in daily life, in businesses, and in building sustainable future. In conclusion, waste management and craft education are two sides of the same coin. One protects the planet, the other empowers people. Together, they prepare us for a better world where nothing is wasted and everything has value. Let us therefore commit recycling with discipline, and let us call on our schools to integrate craft skills into education so that we may build a society that is not only smart but also sustainable. Therefore, I am urging us as teachers to take craft as our responsibility, skills that we can empower ourselves, not us as teachers, but the students that we are teaching outside. I thank you all, and I'm welcoming you all once again.
Very much, Gender and Health Minister Fatou Toure. Please let's give her a round of applause. Good. Now she has made mention of things that are very important. It is about time we embrace creativity. Arts is one of the most beautiful things we can venture into. As veteran teachers, let us embrace creativity. Let us ensure that we inculcate the art of creativity to our students or in our students. Thank you very much once again, Gender and Health Minister. Now, already I know or I understand that some may be puzzled that it is an art exhibition and you've not seen the materials. We want to assure you that we want to surprise you. So they are somewhere, and in no time, you would see them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would now want to invite the ST Foundation rep to say a word or two. Mr. Lamin Sane, please.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of School of Education, the 15th Executive Council of EDUSA, I greet you all. It's a delightful moment to be here representing the ST Foundation for Community Development, which is a non-profit organization that is quite passionate about environmental preservation. Once again, I am Lamin El Sana, the Secretary General of that same foundation, as mentioned by the IPRO, and my delivery will be centered on plastic waste management. Plastic and waste management involve the process and strategies used to collect, sort, recycle, and dispose of plastic materials to minimize environmental pollution. Reusing single-use plastic can expose you to harmful chemicals. When you repurpose this plastic, microplastics can seep into food and beverages, increasing the exposure to toxic substances. Research shows that single-use plastic contains thousands of chemicals, many of which are highly hazardous, including non-carcinogens. Heat exposures also worsen the problem, causing chemicals to leak more from these plastics. Microwaving food in plastic containers or adding hot water to these containers can increase chemical transfer. Experts recommend avoiding single-use plastic for food and beverages, opting instead for safer alternatives like glass, metal, or reusable containers. Some plastics, such as black plastics used in sushi trays and cooking utensils, pose unique risks due to potential toxic flame retardants. With over 16,000 chemicals involved in plastic production, many of which are concerning, it's crucial to limit exposure to plastic and choose safer options to minimize health risk. The world is choking on plastic, with approximately 400 million tons of plastic waste generating annually. Our addiction to plastic, particularly single-use products, has severe environmental, social, economic, and health consequences. Some alarming statistics include 1 million plastic bottles are purchased every minute, up to 5 trillion plastic bags are used worldwide each year. Half of all plastic produce is designed for single-use purposes only. This excessive plastic waste had led plastic becoming ubiquitous in the natural environment, contributing to biodiversity loss, ecosystem degradation, and climate change. Microplastics have even created a new marine microbial habitat known as the plastisphere. To combat this issue, the United Nations Environment Programme, which is UNEP, is working towards developing an international legally binding instrument to address plastic pollution. In conclusion, plastic pollution poses significant risks to the environment, climate, and health. To address this issue, a comprehensive approach is needed to focus on reducing plastic production and usage rather than just managing waste. Embracing a circular plastic economic that promotes the reuse, repair, and redesign of plastic products can help minimize waste, marking a shift from wastefulness to productivity. A huge thanks to the students of Great EDUSA for leading this important initiative that we should all endeavor to support. I thank you all.
Gentlemen, please let's give another round of applause to Mr. Laminsan. Thank you very much, ST Foundation, and thank you, Lamin Sani, precisely. We've all had it together. He has given us the importance of maintaining our climate and showing that we live in that healthy environment. He has also explained some of the impacts we would face if we cease to ensure that our climate is safe. So please let's take note, and if there's anything we would forget from this program, let it not be ways to ensure that our environment is safe. Thank you very much once again. Now I have the honor to invite our Dean, School of Education, Dr. Hussein Sir. Doctor, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. I think the event has changed for obvious reasons. The expectation was exhibition for us to see, but it implies that it has changed to be an awareness creation session. So let's thank everybody here. That is laudable. Thank you very much, Mr. MC, and all the presenters before me for that educative and informative session that you just shared with all of us. My colleague here present, Dr. Akambi, good morning, and thank you for the support. We are partners beyond colleague. You are definitely my sister, President of the Student Union, University of the Gambia, representative of ST Foundation, and of course, IG Job, right? You welcome President of EDUSA, here present the members of the 15th Executive Council, EDUSANS, student of the University of the Gambia, student of School of Education, ladies and gentlemen, our partner here present, Fine TV, you are welcome all the time. Welcome home again, my brother. We appreciate you and a very warm greetings to all of you. I am so happy and elated to be here to participate or partner with all of you on this very important occasion. But I want to begin by thanking EDUSA and of course the ministry responsible for gender and health for the organization of this gathering here today. It takes a lot to achieve these milestones. Definitely it must be commended. Thank you. Also the participants in this exhibition. It takes a lot behind the scene for the final product that they will share with us for us to see. It takes lots of time to come up with that, lot of thinking, creativity, as the MC mentioned, and of course, resources. So thank you for going that extra mile to share your work with us. We also want to appreciate the sponsors. Maybe they are here or not, but probably some people or some organizations contributed to this occasion, and we want to appreciate them. But, you know, let's think about what is happening here. Our main responsibility or our orientation as far as education is concerned is teaching and learning. This is extracurricular activities. And what it is showcasing is leadership EDUSA and EDUSANS are doing in the University of the Gambia. And I want to thank you again for making us proud, for breaking barriers, for being pace setters in the university. It's commendable. Beyond the academic merits and the record we hold, now this is also another manifestation that you guys are up to the task. Keep it up. Now, here is what I want to say. In the education system, any teacher you engage, they will say, things are hard, times are hard. It requires thinking outside of the box. What I can do. It is high time in this country, beyond the education sector, people start thinking of secondary source of income. If you look at the globe now, inflation and what is happening, the rising cost of living, our incomes level are not moving at the same level with that. Meaning that people at any given point in time, it's like things are stacked against them. So therefore, if within us, we have talents to showcase or skills that we can utilize as a means of making income, why not? Let's go for it. So therefore, those of us here who are endowed with that special talent, the ability to make crafts or whatever form of artwork it is, you can use it and it becomes another source of income. And let me say this is a big industry. Exhibitions internationally, New York, you go to Italy, you go to France, these are big things. Why not we start thinking in that direction? So let's continue to develop these skills and support it. Now, as a country, today's event is in line with government agenda. Look at the tourism. How can we use artwork to showcase our uniqueness? What is about us? How many ethnic groups do we have or languages that we have in the country? In terms of representation of artwork, this is an area also we need to tap and try to explore further. The potentials are there, and today is a manifestation of that. Let's keep doing that. Not only that, it will showcase our culture and our uniqueness way of life. This is how we can capture it. And I want to come and look at the current trends as far as arts and culture is concerned in this country. Professor Balasaho of Oklahoma University is building a museum in Jufure. Beyond what we have in Banjul, now the whole idea is that other actors can also join in. So why not you guys? We must start from somewhere, and then at some point it will be handed down to you, the younger generation, to continue to develop this sector so that as a country, our tourism sector can be enhanced. Now, let's try to internalize these products at what happens. Let's look at our households and our environment in terms of decorations, how we beautification of our households. We rely heavily on imported decorations, so on and so forth, to beautify our houses. Why not we start thinking inwards? This will save us a lot of money, and then it becomes a source of pride. This is our own. So we must start from somewhere, and I encourage everybody here present to embrace what we can do to showcase our talents and to beautify our households and environment. I think this topic, in fact, this area is being dealt with adequately by the ST representative here. Is recycling of products which we can use again so that it can serve another meaningful purpose. So the cost and the environmental damage, these wasteful items will be greatly minimized if we do this. Now, here is the good news. It's been mentioned by the Minister of Gender and Health, and of course, I think the MC also re-echoed the point. But here is the good news. In line with the transformation agenda of the Gambia College into a university of education, Myself, Dr. Akambi also participated in a committee work. And one of the recommendations in line with the implementation plan is to roll out arts education program into the system. So it's coming. It's coming. So that people are better prepared with what it takes to become artists and producing aesthetic works and so on and so forth. In closing, I again want to thank EDUSA and the organizers and of course the partners and of course the president of the student union here present, because this shows the collaboration of how you guys are working together as a one family. Yes, it's a fact. We tend to compartmentalize for obvious reasons. We have many, many schools so that we can do things effectively. But the bigger picture is we are all part of the same, or we are all in the same business of education. So let's thank everybody here present. Let's continue building the momentum. What is possible beyond arts? We've seen ST Foundation, the success he has registered as an artist in this country. In our midst, we can have those people. Educationists, look at Jaliba Kuyateh. He was a teacher. Look how successful he is. Why not we have other Jalibas and STs? It's possible. Football players. So the opportunities are vast. Keep it up. Let's get focused on our visions, our aspirations. Once we set our minds on these things, everything is possible. Thank you very much.
Dr. Hussein Sar, Dean School of Education. Please, let's give him a round of applause. I think the Dean has spoken with great warmth and great generosity. He has also spoken with calmness and great precision. And for that, we thank you, Dr. Usun Sir. Oh, he has helped us already thank some of our partners. Fine TV is here. He is almost family now, or they are almost family now. So maybe we would last with them. They are one of us. Among other partners, we thank you all for making sure that this is a reality today. So, Dean, we also thank you for bringing in potential people that we can look up to. If you listen very keenly to his speech, he has given us people that are very successful, people that has made it up through arts. We can also look up to them, or we are not exceptions. We can do even better than them with time. So thank you very much, Dean, for all that. Now I have the pleasure to invite Mr. Mohammed Ngalan would now take over. The president of SU, please come and deliver on discovering talents through craft.
Greetings, everybody. Dean, School of Arts and Sciences, Mr. Dr. Assad, Dr. Makembe, IG, Mr. Sane from the ST Foundation, President of the Education Students Association, Ministers of the Education Students Association, dear colleagues and fellows of the University of the Gambia students. It's of great honor and pleasure that I stand before each and every one of you today. To start with, I'm not an expert in waste management or craft making. It's just by fortunate or by privilege that I am given the responsibility to shed light on a few things that I believe do have an understanding of. However, it's general knowledge to everybody, the importance of waste management, because in our country, in the same country that we all live in, it has become a sad reality that we failed generally in waste management, especially as university students who are expected to undertake these responsibilities and ensure that we enlighten the general population. We are seen found faulty of such. However, the importance of waste management cannot be overemphasized. Waste management would prevent a lot of things, including hazardous factors that which could cause our lives and health as students and as members of the population of the Gambia. However, we could manage these waste in different ways. There are experts that have given their experience and have given their advice. On one, how to manage this waste. On separate cans, having it reusable and usable irreusable materials being separated in a way that the fruit cells and so on could be separated from that of the plastics, and plastics being equally separated from other materials that are all gathered as waste or as trash. However, with this being done, there would be a way in which the University of the Gambia students would help in ensuring that these waste could be used again, in ensuring that using their own crafts could be used as materials that would benefit the country. This, as a union, we have ensured not only do we, of course, acknowledge the fact of what EDUSA is doing, but equally need to highlight the importance of entrepreneurial training. You can only think of being crafty if you have the entrepreneurial thought. And entrepreneurial thoughts most of the times do not come from the blue. They are things that which people learn from others or are inspired by others. And this, as a union, in recognition of this importance, we decided to collaborate with Lejumbo, which is a training institution on entrepreneurship. Fortunately, this year we are having 60 students from the University of the Gambia who will be trained on entrepreneurial skills. We have realized that Lejumbo over the years have trained students on different crafting means, including the usage of the tires, truck tires, vehicle tires, amongst other things, to use them and reuse and make them to be chairs. And equally, they have taught students on how to use plastic bottles to use them as trash bins, how to craftily make them as trash bins. With these trainings, we are pretty much certain that students would be able to use these materials in a crafting means to ensure not only would they prevent hazardous effects in our country or to us as students, but equally these would be used as materials or tools that which would benefit the students of the university, and which we will not even have to use our money on to buying extra cans and so on. We hope and pray immediately after the training, these students will be able to revamp the system in our university and ensure that these materials are used for the better good of the university. We hope equally that all of us that are here today will be able to think beyond the box. As mentioned by previous speakers, waste management is beyond what we think. As people that are in the Gambia, we know how the system is. We know how difficult it is, especially when it comes to the cost of living. Therefore, the thought outside the box to ensure we have other means of survival, including entrepreneurship, including education. Some of us will take 2 or 3 part-time jobs along the way. These are all means of ensuring that we have ourselves sustained. However, there is no sustainable means higher than entrepreneurial means. There is nothing that can sustain you better, make you more independent than entrepreneurship. Thus, we encourage each and every one of you to not only think outside the box, but equally think of how best you can craftily make things that would benefit not only you, but equally the Gambian population. And in addition to that, ones that which would also prevent hazardous effects that which would end up affecting the Gambian population. As I said, I'm not an expert in waste management. I just needed to shed light on a few things that I have a knowledge of, and then thank you all for your kind attention.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's clap for him once again. Good. We wouldn't want to bore you with too much speech. That being the case, we would want to take a brief break, uncover some of the wonderful potentials we have for you, and later come back. Please, let's go and have an exhibition proper. Another member of the high table who just joined us, she is Aji Job, a veteran artist among our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome her. Aji Job, please, you are welcome and feel at home. Yes, we have been long-time partners. So, ladies and gentlemen, we now want to unpack the great thing we have for you. Please, let's move to the exhibition room. Thank you. To everyone for taking your time to take a walk through the wonderful artworks that we had over there. I think this is really impressive. And already I can see the bright smiles, suggesting that what they have seen have indeed pleased their eyes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to give a round of applause to our facilitators and every EDUSAN that attended the training, please. Thank you, and thank you to our Honorable Gender and Health Minister for spearheading such an important training. Let's clap for her, please. Good, so that was it. And now before we continue, or before we have our next artist, we would want to have some words of wisdom again. On that note, I would want to invite Dr. Akambi to say a word or two, please. Doctor, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. That's Nakabeche in Wolof. I'm so happy to be here today. Thanks for the honor and the invites. The Minister for Gender, she was on my neck. Aisha too, thank you too for making it happen. In fact, thank you, because I saw so many things that brought some memories, sweet memories to me. I love painting, drawing, so doing some artworks. In fact, it's one of my hobbies. So once again, good afternoon, everybody. Distinguished guests, esteemed members of EDUSA, and fellow arts enthusiasts. You see, it is an honor to be part of this vibrant arts exhibition. The MC was saying that we may be wondering why we are here. Is it an awareness only? Because there was nothing to show for it before. But he said it's going to be a surprise. And indeed, it was. And it still is a surprise. I'm struck by the creativity, passion, and dedication that shines through each piece. I particularly appreciate the innovative use of recyclable materials in some of the artworks, highlighting the potential for arts to not only inspire but also promote sustainability. All the speakers have spoken along this line, so I will not beat about the bush. I will not trash it too much. Art has the power to transform, to challenge all our perspectives, and to spark meaningful conversations in our personal room, in our personal mind, in our little community, and in our sphere of uh, sphere of uh, how do I put it now? Your sphere of uh, conducting whatever you feel is needed to be conducted to make life more meaningful and positive. You are not only reducing waste, but also you are shedding light on the importance of environmental responsibility. This fusion of creativity and sustainability is truly commendable. Now to all the students, either you are EDUSA, you are chemists, you are medicine students, no matter what your line of career is, art is part of your life. Uh, the minister said the other time, and I hold on to it. She said, waste management is life management. Do you know that those things that you use at home and you just drop in the bin, after seeing what you saw today, could become a means of livelihood, of putting more money in your pockets, instead of asking the donkey man to come carry the bottles, the booze, and all of those things. You can still have a use for them in your home, and also for you to make money out of them. So as you continue on this your artistic journeys, remember to stay true to your vision, to your experiments, and then do more experiments and experiment with new ideas and push boundaries. You see, don't allow anything to create a boundary between you and newness and creativity. EDUSA's commitment to nurturing artistic talents and promoting creative expression is truly inspiring. In fact, it has inspired me more today. It has made me to remember some things that I've forgotten that I know before. Thank you very much. By providing this platform for students to showcase their talents, their work, you are fostering a community that values innovation, sustainability, and artistic excellence. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this special occasion. I wish EDUSA continued success and creativity in your endeavors, and I look forward to seeing the impact of your work on our community and on this nation, and even internationally uh, very soon. Thank you very much.
Akambe.
My Gambian name. I made
So her Gambian name is what? Ndenjai, yeah? Ndenjai. Thank you very much, Doctor. I think that was indeed very, very inspirational. And she said, waste management is what? Who can remember? Life management. Wonderful. She said, waste management is life management. I think even if we take home only that, it is enough. We've attained success. So, wonderful educants, ladies and gentlemen, let's endeavor to manage our waste wisely. And this is one way we can do that. So, thank you very much, Doctor, once again. Now I have the honor. Yes, please. Thank you, doctor. That is the beauty of creativity. Yeah? If she can do that beside her busy schedule as a lecturer, why not any one of us? We could do even more than that when we are committed. Thank you very much for that. Now I have the honor to invite Aji Job to shed light on this gathering, please.
Greetings. Thank you. So I stand on the protocol that's already been established. As you may already know, my name is Ajinobe Job. And I think one of the most people who have that audacity to just come out at basically when I was invited to this event, and according to the letter that I should, and then it's an exhibition, and then I should talk about how we can have art in the education system. I was passionate because when I hear exhibitions, these are personal things to me. I've started doing art for a long time. During primary school, I would sketch anything on my school notebooks, and some of the teachers will bunk me on that. They'll be like, "I you don't have a sketch you'll give me a serious assignment, and the first thing I will do is just sketch one ant or bena melentan like sikaw book day, and all of a sudden they're just pissed off, especially my maths teacher." So growing up, I love art, and in 2019, I saw a publication that there's an exhibition in Egypt, and that they needed a female artist. So I was roaming around while I was at the Gambia College. I was like, what do I need to do with this? And I consulted one of my lecturers, Mr. Jaju. I still want to thank him. He said, I think you can do this. Just try your best. So I drew something and I was like, okay, I think these people will not even accept this. So I did a drawing of a young boy who was in the street, basically in tattered clothes and all of that. And I submitted. And I think month after that, I was shortlisted. I was like, wow, they give more money stuff. So I went to Egypt and I was like, okay, maybe this is just a way of me just being in this competition. And I came out second. So I was like, this is going somewhere. I think I deserve a round of applause for that. Right? So while I came up through the journey, I was fast forward, I graduated, and then I was teaching art, also working with one organization who was geared towards mentoring young people for creative art, painting, and poetry. And CIFO was one of our schools that were pioneering the art program. And I happened to meet a woman, can I say a lady, who was one of our teacher liaisons. And I said, hey, we have a program here. We want to teach young people on painting, pencil work, and also poetry. And the principal called her to come join us. And ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say this. She was one of the most consistent, very humble and hardworking teacher liaison. That is Madam Salia. We have almost four. I want to say this. I'll come to my presentation. Just bear with me, right? We have almost 9 teacher liaisons across the country, but this lady stood out among all the 9 teacher liaisons that we have. Committed. While we are having all of the mentorship programs, sometimes it's on Saturdays, sometimes it's on Fridays and whatever, she will always make sure that she joined the teacher liaison program to make sure that we don't have any absentees. All of the practicals were done properly, all of the drawings were done properly, and all the students attended various classes. So I want you to give a round of applause to this young lady. So when she invited me, I said, 2 things combined. Her, because she means a lot to me, and she's attended most of my competitions and also sharing my flyer. I think she's one of my biggest fans. And if I have a competition, whether in or out of the country, I'll just share. She will be like, Malanyo, I'll post it, don't worry. So I just wanted to say congrats to you and the team for putting up this exhibition. Now my task is to talk about how we can integrate art into the school programs. First, I am a little bit mad and I'm a little bit happy. Mad for the fact that we have such talented people who are at the grassroots, from primary school, from lower basic school, but the system is put in a way that everybody who do not go through the education system is not smart. A carpenter at the highway, a welderman at the streets, thought people have the perception, those are the people who are failed. In fact, they will tell you, so fail like them carpenter. People think that people that are in the art space fail or cannot do academic performance properly. That's why they are in the art space. But believe it or not, an artist is one of the smartest people you can ever have on earth. Because everything that we have seen here, Everything that we are currently using, whether on or on top of we are sitting using it, is designed by an art. That table is designed first. The design first comes before the production. Who designed it? An artist. So we cannot have a situation, a country, an Africa, where we do not value people who start the grassroots at that level. We only praise people who are pilot, but ask who designed that plane. Am I making sense? I think I'm on track, right? The other thing I wanted to talk about, how do we globalize art in the Gambia? And just like all other countries, like arts, I always have that perspective, that mindset that art should be one of the core subjects, because there are people who cannot do maths and are put in a box that maybe they don't fit into the academic arena. But when you remove a fish from the river and took it on a sand race, they will never do well. Put them back to the river and allow them to swim. When you take an artist and mold them and develop them, all of these furnitures that we are taking away from other countries to be here, we are going to have sophisticated carpenters that are going to provide everything we need. Look at the product. When we entered that place, I already have a design speech that I wanted to do, but I think I'm just going to follow free, because seeing that materials, all of these things here in this hall can be produced by Gambians. What do we need to bring onto that? It has to start from the education aspect as teachers. How are we developing young people who are in our classes? Maybe they are not academic oriented, but what are they good at? Do we ask the right question? But what do you want to do? Do you want to do something aside from just maybe an engineering or a lawyer? Because society makes it in a way that artists are not respected, but a lawyer is respected, with all respects, right? But how are we going to develop as a nation? We cannot have a successful nation without having people who are combined and they are from different academic orientation. And art is one of that. Now, how do we also sustain that? First, we need to ask the right questions and also help individuals, especially students that are grassroots, to make sure that they are passionate about what they're doing. Let's take an example of showing. Basically, we have been seeing a lot of smithresses and tailors rising in the Gambia. But over the time, we came to realize that the best tailors or smithresses are Senegalese or they are Nigerians. In fact, when you have a Gambian tailor in your country, you rather go take it to somebody who is a Senegalese from Serekunda or from Banjul than take it to a smithres or a tailor in your country who is a Gambian. Because the perspective, the mindset is that Gambians are not talented. So it needs to begin at the grassroots. At the grassroots is teachers, because this is a school of education. We need to change the narratives. We have students in our classes that we are teaching people that are in our universities who are not academic inclined or who are not up to there. But there must be something that they can do. And art is part of it. Because if you can able to calculate and produce this, believe it or not, if you have 10 years, 9 years into the field, you can able to produce anything. So I believe that to develop a career-oriented country or a nation or an African, that we need to have people that are in the academic skills, equally people that are passionate about making things and making our daily life easy. Now, I want to tax the team to say that I want to commend all of you, but first I want to say how it is very difficult to make a name in the industry, in the arts industry in the Gambia. From my 4th exhibition up till this last February, I've never received any funding from all of my exhibitions. When I got out of the country, when I gathered money, that's when I come back and fund on my projects. And believe it or not, you knock on all these doors, you knock on them, but they are not responding. Why? If I was a science student, I believe that I will be given a scholarship to study abroad. But when I said I am going to major fine arts, painting kese. Draw. In fact, when they see you making this, they think you are mad. Or they think I'm lost. So I think that perspective is supposed to change, because no system in this country on this art will change if education itself is not shaped at the right mindset. Because even at our grassroots, we believe that people who deserve to have doctorate degrees are just people who are passionate about other fields. But believe me, if people are able to have doctorate degrees in visual arts, in fine arts, they can able to produce massive products that the country are going to benefit from. All right? I just wanted to say this. I don't know how far the program or the initiative will go, but I am ready to offer traineeship for photography and painting for free. If at any point you need me, I am ready to provide that resources, specifically for painting and photography for free. Let me know where, when, and where. I hope I'm busy. You check on me and write that. Let me know when, right? Set a date, I'll be here. If it rewards for me to come twice a week or twice a month, I'll be here to make sure that we don't just have this university graduated educators, but educated people who have the mindset of global art. Because this world, I don't know how I'm going to stress this. This world cannot move without the innovation, without the acceptance, without the appreciation of fine arts. So finally, it's going to be challenging. One is funding. It's always a big challenge. I was expecting a huge number or more than this, because when it was something else, I'm sure this place would have been full. So why is an art space being provided with this small space? We need to have more, we need to give more respect to the art. I'm not going to quote on other countries, but let's take an example of Senegal, right? Sometime back, we have an international exhibition and I was there. One of the artists who was given one of the biggest prize, his masterpiece was being sold in 1.6 million. Imagine in the Gambia, I've sketched somebody over the years, and I said the portrait is 500. 500. Because what happened is they think that art is cheap. 1.5 million, safer, and it was sold at that exhibition. When I put my tag on my works, the curator, the national curator for Saint Louis, called me and said, in Wolof, I don't know what happened. Why is your piece so cheap? Your piece is one of the cheapest here. Why? I said, well, I don't even know. The mindset of not being confident about yourself is affecting Gambians. And it's hitting, when you don't know it until you leave this soil, you will know that at some point we are a little bit limited, or we are made to believe that we are not there yet. So he called me, he told me, I want you to change it. I said, well, I don't know. He told me, no, you need to change your price. Otherwise, we'll not hang your work. So I'm like, okay, so what do you think? He told me, well, I think it might worth 50,000. That is when you convert it in safer. I see 50,000. I was calculating now. In my mind, I was like, he told me, just put it there. So I took 3 pieces, because the exhibition was 4 pieces, and I took 3 pieces for some reason. I'm not very sure. I took 3 pieces, and all the pieces were 50,000, 50,000. Everything was sold at the orientation. Somebody just came and looked at my masterpiece and said, who is the artist? Me, I was trying to, I was like, oh my God, tell my day. I was like, ah. All of a sudden they were like, oh, I think it's Gambiabi. Me, I wake up, I was like, it's me. He said, back it, I am selling, I'm buying all. Me, I'm like, oh. So I am saying all of that. I can go with a lot of stories about that, but what I can say is you need to believe in yourself first, right? You need to have the audacity and the confidence to say that, you know what, I am patching out. I am taking that fear. It's always going to be there, obviously, but you need to just put up that courage and say, you know, I am doing this. And the last thing is discouragement. You're always going to have discouragement. I have a lot of people that will tell me, especially when I'm in photography. And I'm going to share just a little story. I was in somewhere around Kanifing. I hope the guy don't see this video. He's going to be mad at me. I was there, the Famon Ginte, and all of a sudden I was there, and he told me, so I was at the gate with my black. Everybody who knows me knows that most of the time I'm in black. And I was at the gate with my gadgets and my bag and all of that. The lady came out. I said, Mangsi Buntabi. The lady came out and said, sister, you're not here, please. So I was there. So because I don't know the individual by face, I saw someone coming out and going in, whatever. I was wondering what happened. So all of a sudden, I was like, yeah, so I described it. And the lady said, yes. I said, I'm the one in black. Guess what? She came to me and said, yeah, Neka IG studio. I'm like, yeah. She said, okay, can you then? You know that moment when you come with 100% confidence, all of a sudden the person does look at you and like, you know, she didn't tell me you're small or you're a lady. She just told me, yeah, IG studio. I'm like, yes. She just said, okay, can you then feel? You know, I came with 100% confidence. At some point, I was like below 0. So I said to myself, you know what? Every photography skills that I've ever learned, I will deliver to this lady. So when I fast forward, when I close that day, usually my pictures takes at least a day or 16 hours or so. I submit. I said to myself, this night I am not going to sleep. I am going to make sure that I edit all the photos and submit. So that night, I think I leave around 10 p.m. I stood until 4 a.m. I was editing the pictures. 7 a.m. Her photos were on her WhatsApp. I said, hey, sorry, send na sa photo. Bala mga check mo, nga muna send mo halis. She called me around 10. Hello, why you IG studio? I'm sorry, I'm using local language. I just need to express myself. Hello, why you Natalie is nice. I'm in my phone. I'm not responding. I'm just like, yeah, okay, that's me. So I am saying all of that, and I can go back and forth with that to just express that Gambians don't believe in their own sometimes, but we can change that narrative by having the audacity to make initiatives like this. And education is just beyond the classroom. I always said, all right. Finally, I just want to leave you with this word that in every artist's mind, there is a masterpiece. Find it, develop it, make sure it is benefiting the society. Thank you for your attention.
I will begin from where she stopped. She said, in every artist's mind, there is a masterpiece. Find it, develop it, and make sure it is beneficial. Thank you very much, Aji. She also began by saying that when she got news of the exhibition, she was what? Shocked, or she was surprised. Doctor said when she went to the exhibition room, she was stopped. I could see it in other people's face when they got to the exhibition room. This shows how brilliant this work was crafted, or how perfect we have on this work. So she also made mention of or gave a scenario to encourage us artists to be resilient. She made mention of a strong lady here, Auntie Sally. She gave us Auntie Sally's story to show how much sometimes we can be committed. And I believe she is an icon worthy of emulation. We have other young people here. We have other young people here that we can look up to. When I went to the to Isa's art exhibition, I met this young lady there, Princess. That is this lady in white and is it orange? I met her. C2 was very much phenomenal. She's a big artist. She's a student, an ongoing student, but a big artist. So, Princess, please keep up the momentum. You are tracking the road to greatness. Ajis also highlighted how sometimes artists can be demurred, how they can be underrated at times. But more importantly, she gave us ways in which we could nip some of these things on the boot. She said sometimes you have to be committed, you have to be resilient, you have to believe in your own somebodyness among other things. And I want to believe that is the ultimate answer to everything. Thank you very much, Ajay, in a nutshell. I want to invite the Secretary General of the Education Students Association, Honorable Sanu Jallo, to give the closing remark. Honorable, please.
Thank you so much, Honorable Uma, Deputy IPRO, 15th Executive Council. And I think we are all motivated to pick up a pencil and a brush right now and get into the studio. I am motivated. I don't know if you are. Dr. Sar, Dean School of Education, Dr. Ndei Njai, and Madam IG Job, and all EDUSANs that are present with us for this art exhibition. I send you greeting from the 15th Executive Council through our able President, His Excellency Alassane Njai. And also on behalf of the 15th Executive Council and on behalf of the Ministry spearheading this very activity, that is the art exhibition, which is a maiden program in the School of Education. This is the first time it is happening in the School of Education. And this is as a result of our transformative and innovative agenda. I can recall when we came into office, we promised each other that we had to do things that have not been done And I think this is the track we are following, and this is just this is one of them. That is, what is established will be maintained, but we must also establish things that must be maintained by those that are coming. We believe that is development. And in the School of Education, as the 15th Executive Council, we are very determined to continue that. Just to inform you, by next month, the School of Education will also launch its maiden EDUSA magazine. This magazine will feature all activities that are conducted in the School of Education, and also it will feature something like this. It's also part of arts. Writing is arts. The talents of students in the School of Education, in poetry, in prose, in other genres will be featured in the magazine. So that students coming would understand the activities that are ongoing, and it will also inform them of what is expected of them as students of the School of Education. This is a school that, as the Dean said, we are pace setters, and we are also change makers. So we are determined to continue setting that pace so that other schools will also emulate from us. If you are entering the School of Education, you will know you are entering in the School of Education because you will see our flags flying higher at our entrance. And I think that is the only school having that. So my responsibility here is to give the closing remark on behalf of the 15th Executive Council. But before doing that, I just want to wholeheartedly thank our donors for this particular program. As an association, we understand we are students, and whenever we want to conduct activities, we have to reach out to individuals, to philanthropists that will help either materially or financially. So one of those, we must thank the ST Foundation for also supporting this particular program. We also want to thank one very dedicated, very passionate, and someone who always sees the Gambia first. And he is no other person but Mr. Bakari Ba, currently residing in UK, who also sponsored this program. And also thank the facilitators of this training, the training for this exhibition. For your information, all materials that are in the exhibition room are prepared by students in the School of Education. The council conducted a training on arts and also on painting and recycling. From the training, students made those products, and these are products of the School of Education. And all those that participated, more than 30 students from the School of Education and other sister schools were invited too, like the School of Arts and Sciences and also the School of Business and Public Administration. I think we have some individuals that were there to learn, because we believe as teachers, IG Job said, for development to be sustainable, then the transformation must start from the grassroots. And the grassroots is the school. And we teachers are the custodians of the grassroots. So, equipping teachers with these skills is equipping the students. It is not the material reward, but also the future of this country. Because we all know plastic is a very difficult waste to eradicate. But let's take for an example. Every teacher leaving the School of Education, going into the field, training at least 100 students. Let's say countrywide we have 20,000 students. If you multiply 20,000 students, if every child should prepare something out of a bottle, out of 5 bottles, that would be about 100,000 bottles. So 100,000 bottles by 5, in 5 years, we will eradicate 500,000 bottles from the country. So I think that alone would be an achievement, not only for the education sector, but for the greater good of the country. So that is just to emphasize that this training or this activity is in the right direction, and it is geared towards development, not only for the association or for the school or for the university, but for the country at large. As we are always told, as educators, we need to think outside the box. And this is one of the thinkings we do outside that very box we are talking about. Fellow students, as I thank you for coming to grace this occasion with the 15th Executive Council, I would also want to highlight some of the activities that this association has conducted and also is in the pipeline for you. You elected us as leaders. You elected us to implement and also to craft programs that is for your benefit and for the benefit of the country. It is our responsibility to deliver. And we are determined to make sure, in making sure that we deliver beyond your expectation. As an association, we successfully conducted the EDUSA week, which most of you participated. We also conducted successfully the EDUSA nationwide tour. And during the tour, we engaged students and teachers and administrators on the importance of technology in the advancement or enhancing teaching and learning in the country. The other thing we have in the pipeline is the EDUSA magazine, as I told you earlier. And we also created a printing center in the School of Education, which not only the School of Education is benefiting, but the entire Faraba campus, especially during the halfway during the semester. You always see our office is jam-packed. It is not only to gain resources for the association, but also to ease the burden on the students, especially students in the School of Education. Sometimes you have your assignment and you cannot print them at Brikama. Sometimes you are challenged with certain issues, you have to print them here. And normally we had to go up to School of Agriculture to print, and there a copy is $10, but in the school we are doing it at $3 for the students and at $5. So we also conducted a training on the, leadership, management, cash handling, and also proposal writing. We believe these are things that every teacher should be equipped with, because as a leader, as a school leader or a promising school leader, you will be faced with things like this: developing a proposal and implementing a proposal, handling cash. So these are things that we will not learn in our classrooms within the four corners of the School of Education. But when we inculcate, amalgamate this into what we are learning within the School of Education, the result we believe will be positive. So we are also about to start a graphic designing training for the School of Education, which is also part of the package for the training for cash handling. By God's grace, we will have a meeting with the institution, that is the Kabum Academy, for the commencement of graphic design. We know graphic designing is a very big industry now. In our various schools, when we have inter-schools, inter-house, when we have a Facebook page as a school that we are going to serve, we need some of these issues, some of these designs that we can send. And most of the time, what we do is we hire other people to do that at the expense of the administrations that we are serving. But when we go into the schools, we want the teachers leaving the School of Education to be people that brings ease into the various schools. So these are one of the things we can do, and also it prepares us to become very good communicators. We know in communication, graphic design is also very important, which is also part of arts. So the School of Education, or the 15th Executive Council, has taken a very great step in training students in the School of Education. So in conclusion, I will thank everybody, especially those that have purchased or pledged or materials of the exhibition. It will help the council a lot. We don't want this to be the last exhibition. We want this to be the first of many exhibitions in the School of Education. So the funds generated from this will be used for other activities. And before I forget, whenever you tell our council about a training, Madam IG, prepare for us. We are coming.